So if you've clicked on this video, you're probably new to the gym, or you're thinking about going to the gym, and you're just looking for those like tiny advices that will finally get you started. So I've been working out for, oh, I've been, I used to do calisthenics. I did that for a year, and then joined a year, uh, joined a year, joined the gym for 2 years. So total is like 3 years, right? So what would I tell a beginner? Number one, I'd tell them to join a smaller gym. Why is a smaller gym better? Number one, you feel less intimidated because, like, when you're starting out, that intimidation of going to the gym, that's real. Like, you feel very intimidated because you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. Are those people like judging me? So just remove that, make it easier on yourself, and join a smaller gym. Right? Join a smaller gym. I went to a commercial gym yesterday, and oh my god, I hate big gyms. Cause like, okay, like there are a lot of equipments and all that, but at the same time, there's so many people. Like, you just gotta wait, like, awkwardly, just wait for your turn at the machine. You know? So yeah, number one, join a small gym. You'll get to know people there at the smaller gyms, and then you look forward to going to the gym because you're like, that person might be there, and then you're going to the gym, right? It's gonna be fun. So join a small gym, number one, and number two, you just gotta start. Don't wait for all the lights to be green. If you're waiting for everything to be perfect, 6 months from now, or a year from now, you're gonna look back and you're gonna be like, if I started like that time, like I would have gotten more results by now. Like, just start going to the gym. You're gonna be like, I don't have a routine. They're probably like paid programs, number one. If you don't want to buy something, then just go on ChatGPT and say, okay, I'm a beginner. I want to focus on this, and I want a workout routine with the amount of sets and reps. Right? And number three, don't ego lift. Number 3 and 4 are connected. So number 3 is don't ego lift, and number 4 is focus on developing a mind and muscle connection. When you're new, you don't know how much you can push, pull, press, and that's dangerous. If I were new, I would always start with something less. I'd start with something less. And what do I mean by mind muscle connection? When, let's say, you're doing a bench press or like a dumbbell press, mind muscle connection is like knowing how the muscle should feel when it's contracted and how it should feel when it's like stretching. So how can you develop that? Well, number one, it's going to take time, but to speed up the process, between, like, when you're taking a rest between sets, let's say you just did the dumbbell chest press, right? Between sets, just like without the weights, just move your hand and like understand the movement. Like, this is how it's supposed to feel when it's like fully flexed or like fully contracted. This is how it's supposed to feel when it's like fully stretched. This stretch, that's what I gotta feel. Like, you can do that for everything, like triceps, shoulders. Try doing it without the weights and try flexing it and try to understand what it has to look like. And with ego lifting, that's the problem with ego lifting too. When you're lifting way more than you can actually lift, let's say you're doing the chest press. Now suddenly, if your chest can't handle the weight, your shoulders are coming into play, your triceps are coming into play. Like, they're gonna be in play regardless. But if you can't control the weight, that means that like other muscles are gonna come in and your chest is not gonna get worked. That's the thing about like bodybuilding. Like you want to isolate the muscle as much as you can. Like you want to, if you're doing a chest press, you want the chest to do most of the work. You want it to control it. You want to like, you want the chest to do all the work. You don't want your shoulders doing the work. That's how you get like overdeveloped shoulders and then underdeveloped chest. Because number one, you're ego lifting, and number two, you don't even have a mind muscle connection to the muscle. Like I had the hardest time like working on my back because I just didn't know how it felt like when I was supposed to like pull it back when you're rowing. I didn't know how it was supposed to feel when you're contracting the back muscles. Now I'm understanding it, so now it's growing more. But yeah, work on building that mind muscle connection and don't ego lift. If you can execute an exercise with like perfect form, and then you can control the reps and you're getting more than like 12 reps, I now increase the weight. But until then, try to like control the weight, really feel that muscle group. Number 5, the diet can come later. Like when someone new comes to me and asks me for advice, I tell them like just focus on one thing. If you're new, you gotta focus on building the habit of going to the gym, not like don't focus on so many things at once. That makes things so much harder for you. If you only have to get to the gym, that's so much easier. And you just have to do that one thing. The thing is, after like, let's say 3 months, after you've been going to the gym consistently, you're enjoying it now, there will come a point where you're like, like if I have the habit on lock of coming to the gym. Now if I dial in on my diet, I'm probably going to see more results, which you are going to see more results if you focus on your diet. But until like you build the habit of going to the gym, just don't put more pressure on yourself. Like you're going to end up not liking the gym if you got to focus on so many things. Even when you're going to the gym, eat sensibly. Don't indulge in like become a glutton. Eat sensibly. You know what like eating sensibly and eating healthy looks like, right? So eat sensibly, eat more, try to eat more protein when you're like working out and all that, but don't be like, oh, I gotta measure everything. Like, I still don't measure stuff because I don't like it. I should at some point, but like that's a discussion for some other time. And lastly, I was gonna tell you something else. Oh, focus on progressively overloading. Don't ego lift. Start small. And when like I said before, if you can execute an exercise with impeccable form, like you can feel it really, you can control it, and you're getting more than 12 reps. Now increase it. Like increase it every like 2 to 3 weeks. Increase the weight that you're working with. That's progressively overloading. Because if you're not progressively overloading, then you're not growing really. Like you're just staying stagnant. So those are my tips or my advice to a beginner at the gym. Let me just recap it. Join a small gym. Just start. Don't ego lift. Build the mind muscle connection. The diet can come later. Focus on one step at a time. And what was the last thing? And progressively overload. Okay. I hope that helped you. Zuki Gang, we up.